There is a kind of person who never lets anyone see them absolutely struggling. They can just handle it quietly for years and years. Nobody notices. Nobody checks. Nobody even asks if they're okay because literally you're so good at looking fine that the question never occurs to anyone around them. So if you recognize yourself in any part of that sentence, I just want you to stay with me because I'm not going to tell you what to do about it. I'm going to tell you what's actually happening. See, you're holding everything together for everybody else. You're carrying it quietly, medicated for things nobody knows about. And you're so good at the performance part that nobody even ever asks. But the first thing I want to do is I really want to name what's happening because almost nobody in your life is going to do it. So here's the thing about the position you're in right now. Visible suffering gets witnessed. When somebody falls apart in public, people show up everywhere. Friends call, family checks in. The system, though, however imperfect as it is, it notices. Invisible suffering doesn't. Invisible suffering is the kind of suffering that goes unwitnessed for years and years and years, sometimes decades, because the person doing the suffering is also the person everyone else is leaning on and relying on. Your team thinks you're unshakable. Your family thinks you've got things handled. The people who matter most in your life are also structurally at least likely ever to ask a question because asking it would mean accepting the fact that the person they've been relying on has been carrying something that they couldn't see. So nobody asks and you keep handling it. And the gap between how you're doing and how you're presenting keeps getting wider and wider and wider. But here's what that costs you in the language that nobody uses. It costs you being known. Now, not recognized, not respected, not relied upon, known. The actual experience of another human being really seeing you and not flinching at it. The people around you who they love the mask. They've built their whole lives around the mask, which means the real you, the part of you that's tired and uncertain and insecure and quietly wondering what any of this has actually been for in any of those rooms for years, they just don't get it. And the loneliness you feel is not the absence of people. It's the absence of being seen by the people around you who are already there. And then what you do is most all high achievers do. You set bigger targets, more performance, more optimization, something else. You find another framework, another book, another podcast, anything to stay in motion. Because motion means you don't have to sit there and sit with the question, is this all it is? Is this it? That's the question. The one thing you've been outrunning, the one thing that surfaces in that gap between achievements when you stop long enough for the noise to drop. And then you immediately reach for something to fill that bloody gap because that gap is unbearable. It's this is this what I built? Is this what I gave everything for? Is this the life I actually wanted? Or just a life I knew how to win at? So if you're someone who that question has started to really land, I want you to hear something carefully. The fact that that question has surfaced is not a sign that something's gone wrong. It's a sign that something in you has finally started to stop perform, started to listen. And almost nobody at your level gets there because the system is designed so they don't. The rewards are structured so the question stays buried. The culture is built around if you admit it, it gets weaponized against you. So getting this question is not weakness. It's the most sophisticated move you have available to a person at your level. It just doesn't feel like that because nothing around you is built to receive it. I've worked with so many people in this position, not as a coach, not as a therapist. I work in a category no one's got a word for yet. See, I see things, I ask things, I see what's happening underneath the performance. Not because I've read a book or about it or I've done a course, right? I spent 30 years carrying the same shit every day. And I know exactly what weighs you down. And I'm not selling anything in this video. I'm telling you something that the question needs to be asked. Are you okay? Not the performing version, not the control version, the real you. The real you is, are you okay?